Hi guys, welcome to this new English class. Today we're going to start
a surprise for Hammy. Dear Diary, Max is very strange these days. A few days ago, Max and Anna were talking when I went into the kitchen. When they saw me, they stopped talking. The day before yesterday, we were having dinner when the phone rang. Max said, "I can't talk here," and went out of the room. I think he's keeping some secrets from me. Yesterday I was sleeping in my bed when I heard a noise. Max was putting some bags inside the wardrobe. What was in the bags? He didn't want to tell me. I don't think they like me anymore.
Hammy, come with me, please.
Okay, Max.
This is your new gym. Max and I made it for you. Fluffy helped too.
You are the best friends in the whole world. You too, Fluffy.
Do we have to do that?
Look and learn. We were having dinner. The phone rang. We were having dinner when the phone rang. I was sleeping in my bed. I heard a noise. I was sleeping in my bed when I heard a noise. Bye!
we're going to start with our students' books. So please open your students' book and page 14. Okay, in this part we have focus on phonics, and here we have two different sentences. And okay, in this part we are going to read, we are going to listen to the audio, and then we are going to repeat. So first of all, we are going to start reading this part. So please pay attention and continue reading you in your book. There's a bad storm with thunder and rain. An awful earthquake is shaking a train. Now we are going to go with the second sentence. A volcanic eruption makes a terrible sound, while a dangerous hurricane blows all around. Okay? Now that we read this part, we are going to listen to the audio and practice the sounds that we have here in bold, okay? In these words. So please pay attention to the audio.
Students' Book, page 40, 14. Focus on phonics.
Listen and repeat. There's a bad storm with thunder and rain. An awful earthquake is shaking a train. A volcanic eruption makes a terrible sound. While a dangerous hurricane blows all around.
Okay, now that we listen to the audio, we are going to try to read these sentences in the same way. Okay, remember emphasizing these words that are in bold. Okay, so please, if you want, you can stop the video, take your time, and read the sentences again, okay? If you want, you can listen to the audio again, you can repeat that part of the video and take your time to practice. Now we're going to continue with exercise 15, and in this part we have to complete the questions, ask and answers. Well, in this part we have a chart, and here we have some information. For example, here we have, what are you doing at? It means that in these spaces you need to write a specific moment in which you were doing something. Okay, first of all, you need to complete the questions in this part. For example, 4:15 last Monday. What were you doing 4:15 last Monday? Okay, here you have to write questions about what were you doing last week. Okay, and in this part you can write the answers. For example, 8:45 yesterday morning, I was taking my breakfast. So in this part you can write what were you doing. Okay, if you did more than one thing, you can write in these spaces. Okay, and in this line here, if you were with someone, you can write his or her name. For example, I was taking my breakfast with my cousin Laura. So I need to write her name here. So if you did more activities, you can write in these spaces. Remember, you need to write the questions here and then answer these questions in these boxes here. Now we have exercise 16. In this part, you have to write your diary for last week. Okay? Think about what did you do last week, and we are going to write about it. Okay, we are going to work with the last week. Remember, just 1 week, the last week. And we are going to write some things that we did day by day. Here we have an example. Monday, I was watching TV when John came over. It was a great surprise. We played on the computer and he stayed for dinner. Then I'm going to write about Thursday. And on Thursday, I was doing my homework and then I went to eat pizza with my sister. Okay? Then you are going to write something about Wednesday. Okay? You have to write just 2 sentences per day. Okay? Something short, but with all the days of the week. It means Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Okay? Remember, it's just a small piece per each day of the week. Now I'm going to explain you your autonomous work, and this time you are going to work with your workbook. Okay? Remember, this is your autonomous work. And in this part, I'm going to play the audio, and you have here some words, and you have to classify each word in the correct sentence. Okay? As we can hear in the previous audio, these words have different intonations or ways to pronounce them. For example, here we have words that are neutral. Okay? Here we have words that have intonation at the beginning. Here we have words that are longer and have the intonation at the beginning too. Here we have words that have the intonation in the middle of the word. So, the first thing is read these words and then we're going to classify. For example, first read story, disaster, terrible, stopped, want, decide, and dangerous. Okay? Now we are going to classify these words. In the first column, we have storm, because this word is short and have the same intonation, storm. Okay? Here we have the second column, and we are going to read the words again. Story, disaster, terrible, stepped, want, decide, and dangerous. Which word is the correct for this intonation? It could be story or wanted. Very good. Correct one is story, because it has the intonation at the beginning of the word. Story. Okay? Story. Very good. Repeat after me. Story. Very good. Now we have column number 3, and these words have the stress or the intonation at the beginning too. The correct answer could be terrible or dangerous. Very good, the answer is terrible, because this word has the intonation at the beginning. Terrible. Repeat after me. Terrible. Very good. So here we have the last column, the words that have the intonation in the middle of the word. And the answer in this part is disaster, because this word has the intonation in the middle. Repeat after me. Disaster. One more time. Disaster. Very good. So now you need to read the words here and complete the chart in these parts. Okay? Then we have exercise 15, in which we are going to listen, check, and say the words that we can hear in the audio. We are going to listen, check, and say the words that we have here in this part. So please pay attention.
Workbook, page 40, 15. Listen, check, and say. 1,
Storm. Stopped.
2,
Story. Wanted.
3,
Terrible. Dangerous.
4,
Disaster. Decided.
Now we have exercise 16. In this part, you have a reading in which you have to find 22 simple past and past progressive verbs and 4 sequencing words in the story. We are going to use these paragraphs here in order to clarify any doubt. Okay? In this part, we have 3 reviews. When we write a story, we think about what happened, where and when it happened, and who was there. For this, we use verbs in the simple past. Verbs in the simple past are the verbs that at the end have ed or that change their form. Then we describe what was happening at the same time. This makes the story more interesting. For this, we use verbs in the past progressive. The verbs in the past progressive refers to the verbs that at the end have ing. Okay? And finally, we use connecting words like and, but, and because, and we also use sequencing words like then, next, and after that. Well, now we have to find the 22 past and past progressive verbs and the 4 sequencing words in this story. To start, we have to read all the story, and then we're going to be able to identify these words. For example, my favorite movie of the year was Detective Wilhart 2. In this sentence, we have the verb was. It is the simple past of the verb be. Okay, so you need to circle this word. Then we have, this is what happened in the most exciting scene of the movie. Here we have the verb happened. And in this verb, you can see that this ends with ed. It means that this verb is a simple past verb. Okay, so you need to circle. Here we have the thieves were running after Detective Hart. The thieves were running after Detective Hart. He had to jump off a really high building to escape. In this part, we have a verb that ends with ing, so we need to circle it. But here we have were. When you have an ing verb, you will find were or was. Okay, so pay attention to this. You need to circle were or was with a verb that ends with ing. After Detective Harper, he had to jump off a really high building to escape. Had is a simple past verb. This verb doesn't have ed, but this verb changed its form. Okay? But it is still a simple past verb. And here we have then he jumped onto a truck. Then it's a sequencing word. Remember, here you have the sequencing words that you need to find in this text that are then, next, after that. Okay, you need to find these words in this text. Another example. We're going to continue reading. Then he jumped onto a truck. Here you have another verb. And this verb, it's a simple past verb because it ends with ed. So you need to circle. Remember, you need to circle verbs in the simple past and past progressive. So you need to circle simple past and past progressive verbs. Also, you need to find 4 sequencing words. If you want to read this paragraph again or watch the video that I present before, you can do it. Remember, take your time, read carefully and slowly, and try to identify all the verbs in this text. Well, now we have exercise 17. In this part, we have to answer some questions in relation to this text. Okay, so you need to read this text. For example, here we have what was the movie called? And according to the reading, this movie was called Detective Will Hart 2. So you need to write the answer in this line, in this way, Detective Will Hart 2. In the second question, we have where was Detective Hart at the beginning of the descent? And based on this reading, the Detective Hart was and based on this part, we read that he had to jump off a really high building to escape. It means that the Detective Hart was on a building. So you need to write the answer in this line. He was in a building. So remember, read these questions carefully, and based on the reading, you will find the answers. Here we have exercise 18, and in this part you have to write about a scene from your favorite movie. Okay? For example, my favorite movie is Nemo. So I'm going to write something about this movie. So I'm going to write something about one scene of this movie. For example, my favorite movie is called Nemo. I like the scene Merlin and Dory find Nemo in the sea. So you have to mention which scene is your favorite from the movie. So remember, So remember, mention the name of the movie and the details about the scene that you choose. Well, that's all for today. Thank you so much for your attention. If you have any doubt, you can watch the video again, you can listen to the audio again, and don't forget to send your autonomous work. Bye bye.